Welcome to Curiosity Compass, the channel where curiosity knows no bounds. Get ready to explore the wonders of mysteries, facts, and endless discoveries. Step into the mysteries of ancient wonders, where every carving tells a story waiting to be uncovered. To our incredible Curiosity Compass family, thank you for being part of our journey. Your support and curiosity inspire us to keep exploring the unknown. We couldn't do this without you. Let's continue navigating the wonders of the world together. Are you ready to embark on a journey of curiosity and discovery? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join the adventure.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going on a bit of a treasure hunt. We're going to be digging into forgotten inventions. You know, those ingenious creations that, well, maybe haven't gotten the same limelight as some of history's biggest hits, but still, left their mark on the world.
It's remarkable how many inventions are out there that most people have never even heard of.
Right.
And these forgotten inventions, I think, they offer this really unique perspective on how technology has evolved over time.
Yeah.
And how human ingenuity has always been there to tackle challenges throughout all of history.
Absolutely. So to get us started, we've got an article here that lists 18 of these kind of hidden gems of invention, and we've also got a whole podcast called Inventopedia that's just brimming with stories about inventive minds and their creations.
It's going to be an exciting deep dive.
I think so. And just to give you a little taste of what we're talking about here, get this. We're talking about things like a chess-playing automaton from the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
And a Byzantine weapon called Greek fire that could actually ignite on water. I mean, how is that even possible?
Right. It's incredible.
So to kick things off, I think it would be fun to rewind the clock way, way back, like to ancient civilizations.
Okay.
No smartphones, no Wi-Fi back then, but these folks were seriously innovative in their own right.
Oh, absolutely. They had to be to solve the challenges they faced.
Right. What do you think about, for example, the Antikythera mechanism?
Oh, that a classic.
Yeah.
So this ancient Greek device was actually discovered in a shipwreck.
Wow.
And it's essentially, get this, an analog computer. It was used to track astronomical movements, predict eclipses.
Hold on. A computer from over 2,000 years ago.
You got it. And not just any computer. It even accounted for the elliptical orbits of the planets. I mean, that's incredible for its time.
That's insane. It completely changes how I think about ancient civilizations. To have something like that advanced back then, it's just mind-blowing.
I know, right. It really challenges those assumptions that we often have about the capabilities of ancient cultures.
Totally.
I mean, the Antikythera mechanism, it just demonstrates a level of astronomical and mathematical knowledge that was way ahead of its time.
It makes you wonder what other incredible knowledge might have been lost to history, right?
Oh, absolutely. So many mysteries still out there.
Okay, so moving on from the Antikythera mechanism, we've got another fascinating invention from ancient Greece. And this one's called the eolipile.
Okay, the eolipile.
Yeah, it was invented by Hero of Alexandria. Now think of it as a very early prototype of the steam engine.
Okay, so like a precursor to the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. It wasn't really used for anything practical at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So just a proof of concept, I guess?
But it demonstrated the potential of steam power, like centuries before the Industrial Revolution actually happened.
It's a perfect example of an invention that was ahead of its time.
Right.
I mean, the principles behind it, using steam to create rotary motion, it's like the foundation for the Industrial Revolution.
It really is, yeah. And think about it, like it transformed manufacturing, transportation, like so many aspects of society were just completely revolutionized by those principles.
Absolutely. It's incredible how seemingly simple ideas, they can have this massive ripple effect across history.
They really can. Okay, so speaking of ancient innovations, let's talk about Roman concrete for a second.
Okay, Roman concrete?
I mean, everyone's heard about like those impressive Roman structures that are still standing today.
Oh, yeah?
And it turns out their concrete, it played a key role in, in making their structures so durable.
Yeah, Roman concrete was incredibly durable, like way more so than a lot of modern concrete.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How'd they do that?
Well, they had a secret ingredient. Volcanic ash.
Volcanic ash.
Yeah. And this ash, it like gave their concrete these unique properties. It allowed it to last for millennia. I mean, even in harsh conditions like seawater.
Huh. And how does it compare to the concrete that we use today?
Well, honestly, some Roman concrete structures are in better shape than modern concrete structures that were built just a few decades ago. It's kind of crazy, right? Talk about a lost opportunity.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how different our cities might look today if we'd held on to that knowledge.
Right.
Okay, now on to something shrouded in a bit of mystery. The Baghdad battery.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
It's the Baghdad battery. It's this collection of clay pots, copper tubes, and iron rods that were found in Iraq. And they date back over 1,800 years.
Wow.
Now, while its true purpose is still debated, some believe that it may have actually been used as an early form of a battery.
Wait, are you saying that the ancients might have been harnessing electricity thousands of years ago?
That's a possibility.
That's mind-blowing.
It is.
Even if we don't know for sure what it was used for, it just it opens up so many questions about what ancient civilizations knew,
Absolutely. I mean, the Baghdad battery, it really challenges our understanding of the history of electricity.
It does, yeah.
And it hints at this level of technological sophistication that we might not expect from that era.
Totally. Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the lodestone compass.
Okay, the lodestone compass.
This invention, it completely revolutionized navigation.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it did it by harnessing the power of magnetism.
Right, using a naturally magnetized piece of iron ore, so a lodestone, right?
Yeah.
It allowed sailors to determine their direction, even in cloudy conditions when they couldn't see the stars.
Yeah.
And that made those long-distance voyages, much safer and more predictable.
Yeah.
Which, ultimately opened up the world for exploration and for trade.
Yeah. It's hard to overstate the impact of a device that made global exploration possible.
I know, right?
Okay, so now let's dive into two inventions that really cleverly harness the power of nature. The water wheel and the Archimedes screw.
Oh, those are both great examples of ancient engineering.
Yeah, for sure. So the water wheel was an early example of using flowing water to generate power.
Right, like mills.
Yeah, exactly. And for centuries, it was used to, grind grain, power mills. It was even used to operate machinery in some cases.
Yeah, very versatile.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, and what about the Archimedes screw?
Okay, so the Archimedes screw, named after the famous Greek inventor, was this brilliant device for lifting water. Mm-hmm. It was often used for irrigation and also for draining water from mines and even from ships.
And it's still used today.
I know, right?
That's how effective it is.
It's amazing. It's amazing how those simple designs have stood the test of time.
I know, they really have.
It speaks to their effectiveness.
Oh, for sure.
And the ingenuity of those early inventors who could just solve these really practical problems with the materials they had.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, it is. Okay, ready to jump ahead in time a bit?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's look at some inventions that were truly ahead of their time, starting with the puckle gun.
Okay, the puckle gun.
Now, this one's both ingenious and a bit unsettling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why unsettling?
Well, the puckle gun was essentially an early machine gun. It was designed for naval warfare back in the 18th century.
Oh, wow. An early machine gun.
I know. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So the puckle gun was designed to fire different types of bullets.
Different types of bullets?
Yeah, depending on the enemy.
What do you mean, depending on the enemy?
So they had square bullets, and those were intended for Christian enemies.
Oh, wow.
And then they had round bullets for those of other religions.
Wow, that's a bit much, isn't it?
I know, right? It definitely reflects the complex social and religious dynamics of the time. That's for sure.
Yeah. Definitely raises some eyebrows today.
It does. Yeah. But while the puckle gun, it wasn't widely adopted.
Okay.
It really foreshadowed the development of rapid fire weaponry, which, as we all know, had a huge impact on warfare in the centuries that followed.
Absolutely. Okay, what's next?
Okay, next up is the phonautograph.
The phonautograph.
This was a device that could record sound waves, but it couldn't play them back.
So you could record it but not hear it.
Right. And get this, it predates Thomas Edison's phonograph by about 20 years.
Really? That's amazing.
I know.
So wait, someone figured out how to capture sound, like visually? Yeah. Before we even had the technology to actually hear it.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And what's even more fascinating is that that recordings made by the phonograph were only recently played back.
Oh, wow.
Like using 21st century technology.
So we can hear,
Yeah.
like, the voices of people from over a century ago.
Yeah, imagine that.
Wow, that must have been an incredible moment.
I know, right? Like opening a window into the past.
That's amazing.
Okay. And speaking of groundbreaking inventions that weren't fully appreciated in their time, we have the Pascaline.
Okay, the Pascaline, what was that?
This was an early mechanical calculator. So it was invented by Blaise Pascal in the 17th century, and the Pascaline used a series of gears and wheels to perform basic arithmetic operations.
Okay.
Now, while it wasn't like commercially successful back then, it laid the groundwork for more sophisticated calculating machines, and that eventually led to the computers that we use today.
Even though these inventions, they might seem like forgotten footnotes in history, they actually represent these important steps in the evolution of technology.
You really do.
And it shows how innovation often builds on those ideas that came before.
Right.
Even the ones that didn't immediately take off.
Exactly.
It often takes this unique combination of vision, persistence, and just the right circumstances.
Yeah, for sure.
For an invention to really take hold and change the world.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now let's shift our focus to inventions that had a big but often overlooked impact on how we live and work today.
Okay.
A great example is the Jacquard loom, which revolutionized the textile industry in the 19th century.
Oh yeah, the Jacquard loom.
So the Jacquard loom used a system of punch cards to automate the process of weaving complex patterns. So it made it possible to create these really intricate designs, but much more efficiently.
Yeah, very innovative for its time.
It was. And get this, the punch card system that was used in the Jacquard loom actually inspired the development of early computers.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I know. Who would have thought that a textile invention would have such a profound impact on the digital world, right?
It's amazing how those connections work, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it just highlights this interconnectedness of different fields,
Yeah, it really does.
And how these seemingly unrelated innovations can kind of cross-pollinate and lead to these unexpected breakthroughs.
Right. So the Jacquard loom's influence goes way beyond textiles.
Oh, for
it's a key player in the history of computing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's heat things up a bit and talk about Greek fire.
Ooh, Greek fire. I love this one.
This was a weapon used by the Byzantine Empire, and it could burn even on water.
Yeah, that's what makes it so terrifying.
I know.
Imagine a weapon that could just keep burning underwater.
That's crazy.
It's no wonder it was so effective in naval warfare.
And the fact that the exact formula for Greek fire has been lost to history. It's shrouded in mystery.
Oh yeah, it just adds to the mystique, doesn't it?
It does, and it also speaks volumes about the ingenuity of the Byzantines and the destructive power that ancient civilizations could wield.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we don't always have a complete picture of the past,
Right.
There's still so many secrets waiting to be uncovered.
Absolutely. Okay, so now moving from a weapon of war to something a bit less dangerous, but equally intriguing, we have the Mechanical Turk.
Okay, the Mechanical Turk. I've heard of this one.
Yeah, so this chess-playing automaton, it caused quite a stir back in the late 18th century.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
It seemed to be a machine capable of defeating human chess masters.
Really?
It was captivating audiences left and right.
Wow, so early AI, basically.
Yeah, well, there's a twist.
Okay, there's a twist.
It was eventually revealed to be a clever hoax.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was actually a hidden human chess player who was controlling the machine's movements.
Oh, that's sneaky.
I know, right?
But I mean, can you imagine being at a chess tournament in the 1700s and witnessing this machine beating grandmasters.
I know, right?
People must have been stunned.
They were, and it's fascinating how this invention, even though it was a hoax,
Yeah.
it sparked these like early discussions about artificial intelligence and the possibilities of automation,
Right. Long before computers as we know them even existed.
Exactly.
It raises these really interesting questions about our fascination with machines that can mimic human intelligence. I mean, that's a theme that continues to be relevant today,
Totally, yeah.
I mean, with advances in robotics and artificial intelligence, we're still grappling with those same questions.
Right. Okay, so now from a chess-playing automaton, let's turn our attention to an invention by one of America's founding fathers.
Oh, which one?
Thomas Jefferson's polygraph.
Oh, the polygraph.
And no, we're not talking about a lie detector here.
Right.
But rather a clever device for creating duplicate copies of documents.
Oh, interesting. So like a very early copy machine.
Exactly.
I see.
So, Jefferson, he was known for his prolific writing.
He was.
And this invention allowed him to, efficiently create copies of his work.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He had a lot to say.
He did.
A lot of writing to do.
And it's fascinating to think that someone like Thomas Jefferson,
Yeah.
who's known for his political and philosophical contributions, was also an inventor.
Sure. Yeah.
It just goes to show that you never know where innovation will come from.
It really does.
And, it also highlights how even these seemingly simple inventions can have a significant impact on productivity and communication.
Absolutely, especially in a time before typewriters or copy machines.
Exactly, yeah. So we've seen inventions that revolutionized warfare, transformed industries, and even advanced scientific understanding.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about those everyday inventions that have had this huge impact on our lives.
Yes, sometimes the simplest things are the most important.
Right. Starting with the humble hand mill.
The hand mill.
Yeah. Also known as a quern. It's this basic grinding tool that was used for centuries to process grain into flour, a staple food for countless civilizations.
Oh yeah, essential for survival.
It was.
I mean, without flour, no bread, no pasta.
Exactly.
So many staples gone.
And it's just amazing how such a simple invention played such a critical role in sustaining societies for millennia.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
I mean, it makes you appreciate those everyday tools that we often take for granted,
I totally agree.
We just assume they've always been there.
Okay, so let's move on to an invention that changed the course of warfare.
Okay.
The stirrup.
The stirrup.
Yeah. It might seem small, but it had a huge impact.
Really? How so?
So the stirrup, it gave horseback riders significantly more stability and control.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So it revolutionized cavalry warfare.
It did. It allowed riders to use weapons more effectively
Makes sense.
and to charge with greater force.
Yeah.
And that actually led to the rise of powerful mounted knights in medieval Europe.
Who would have thought that something as, seemingly simple as a stirrup could have such a ripple effect across society?
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is.
And I'm starting to see a theme here,
What's that?
So many of these inventions, even the ones that seem simple at first glance,
Yeah.
they've led to these profound shifts in how we live, work, and even fight wars.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's those little things sometimes that make all the difference.
They really do.
They're the unsung heroes of history.
Okay, and speaking of harnessing natural forces, let's talk about the windmill for a minute.
Okay. Windmills.
I mean, windmills have been around for centuries. They use the power of wind to grind grain and to pump water.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, while their use kind of declined for a while,
Yeah.
with the rise of steam and electric power,
Right.
they're making a comeback today as a source of renewable energy,
Absolutely.
which is really cool.
It is, yeah.
So the windmill represents one of humanity's early efforts to harness the power of nature in a sustainable way, and it's a reminder that sometimes the solutions to our modern challenges actually lie in revisiting and adapting the technologies of the past.
I love that perspective. It's so true.
Okay, we've covered so many incredible inventions already.
I know.
But there's one more I want to explore before we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
And that's the paper kite.
A kite.
Yeah.
Really?
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
A kite. It's just a child's toy, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fun to fly, but not exactly groundbreaking.
But it actually has a much richer history than that.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
So kites have been used for centuries for both practical and recreational purposes.
Really? Like what?
Well, for example, they've been used in everything from scientific experiments to military signaling.
No way.
Yeah. In fact, Benjamin Franklin famously used a kite to study electricity.
Really? I never knew that.
Yeah. Pretty incredible when you think about it.
That is.
It's a great example of how something as simple as a kite can be used in ways that are both playful and profound.
Absolutely.
And it really challenges our assumptions about, what a simple invention can achieve.
I love it. It's like a testament to the power of human ingenuity.
It is.
That ability to adapt and innovate, finding new ways to utilize even the most basic tools.
I think that's a great place to pause for now.
Oh,
We've covered a lot of ground already,
They have.
exploring inventions from ancient civilizations to the 18th century.
It's been quite a journey.
From weapons of war to tools that helped sustain societies, we've seen a remarkable range of human ingenuity.
It's incredible to think about how each of these inventions has, in its own way,
Yeah.
contributed to shaping the world we live in today.
Yeah, it really is. And we're not done yet.
Oh, that's right.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into the world of forgotten inventions.
Yeah, wait.
So stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're continuing our exploration of forgotten inventions. Those ingenious creations that, well, they've often kind of flown under the radar of history, but have had a real impact on the world.
Yeah, it's like we're uncovering hidden treasures, revealing these unsung heroes of innovation, the ones who've shaped our lives in ways we might not even realize.
Totally. And in the last part of our deep dive, we traveled from ancient Greece to the 18th century. We encountered everything from analog computers to weapons of war.
I know, right?
And it's mind-blowing to think about the sheer range of human ingenuity we've uncovered so far.
It really does highlight how innovation has been this constant force throughout all of human history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people have always been driven to solve problems,
Right.
to improve their lives, and to push the boundaries of what's possible.
And what's so fascinating is that these inventions weren't created in a vacuum. They emerged from very specific needs and challenges that people faced in their daily lives.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Take the hand mill, for instance.
Sure.
It might seem like this really simple tool.
Yeah.
But it played this crucial role in providing sustenance for countless civilizations.
Right.
By efficiently grinding grain into flour.
Exactly. Or consider the stirrup. A seemingly small invention
Right.
that revolutionized warfare by giving horseback riders greater stability and control.
Right, and it led to the rise of those powerful mounted knights, right?
Exactly. And it's a great example of how a seemingly minor tweak can have this ripple effect across society and really change the course of history.
It makes you wonder if there are inventions that we use today that we kind of take for granted, but that will be seen as as game changers centuries from now.
It's a really interesting thought.
I know, right? What will future historians look back on and be like, wow, that changed everything.
Yeah, I know. It's a great reminder to kind of look beyond the obvious.
Yeah.
and appreciate the ingenuity behind even those inventions that we encounter every day.
Yeah, for sure.
But going back to what we were discussing, it's not just necessity that drives invention, is it?
No, absolutely not.
There's also this incredible human desire to explore and to experiment, and to understand the world around us.
Absolutely. Curiosity, I think, has been this driving force behind countless inventions throughout history.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Benjamin Franklin's kite experiment. You know, it helped unlock the mysteries of electricity.
Right.
Or consider the Antikythera mechanism, which, you know, demonstrates this astonishing level of astronomical and mathematical knowledge in ancient Greece.
Yeah, and those inventions weren't created to solve, like, you know, an immediate practical problem.
Right.
But they really pushed the boundaries of knowledge.
Sure.
And opened up, like, you know, these whole new possibilities.
Yeah, it's like that spirit of inquiry. It's woven into our DNA.
I love that.
Right.
And sometimes, like, you know, like, curiosity leads to inventions that might seem whimsical or even impractical at first. Like,
Yeah.
you know, take the Mechanical Turk, for example.
Yeah.
Right? It was a chess-playing automaton. It turned out to be an elaborate hoax,
Right.
but it captured people's imaginations,
Mhm.
and it sparked these early discussions about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it's fascinating how even a deception like that can actually contribute to the evolution of technology.
Right.
You know, it challenged people to think differently about what machines could be capable of,
Yeah.
and it pushed those boundaries of what was even considered possible.
Totally. And it highlights how innovation often involves taking risks, you know?
Yeah.
Experimenting with new ideas.
Yeah.
And sometimes even learning from failures.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, not every invention is going to be, you know, an instant success.
Right.
But those failures, they can pave the way for future breakthroughs.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's a reminder that progress, it isn't always linear, you know.
Right.
It takes detours, unexpected discoveries, and even a few missteps along the way.
For sure. But one of the key takeaways for me from all of this is how innovation builds upon itself.
Yeah.
It's a cumulative process.
Absolutely.
You know, with each generation of inventors kind of standing on the shoulders of those who came before them.
You've hit the nail on the head. I mean, the evolution of the steam engine, it's a perfect example.
Okay.
From from the early elipile to those powerful machines that fueled the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
Each iteration built upon the knowledge and experience gained from those previous attempts,
Right.
which led to increasingly sophisticated and impactful applications.
Yeah, it's like we're all part of this incredible relay race of innovation.
I love that.
Right, passing the torch of knowledge and creativity from one generation to the next.
And sometimes we forget about those who carried the torch before us. You know,
Yeah.
the pioneers who laid the groundwork for the technologies that we enjoy today.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes these forgotten inventions so fascinating.
Absolutely.
They remind us that innovation is this continuous process.
Yeah.
This collective effort that spans centuries.
It's a powerful reminder to be humble about our own contributions and to appreciate that long lineage of ingenuity that has brought us to where we are today.
It also encourages us to look beyond the obvious. You know,
Yeah.
to dig deeper into the history of everyday objects and to appreciate those unsung heroes behind the technologies that we just take for granted.
Right.
Like, they're just there.
Yeah.
We don't even think about it.
Totally. And speaking of unsung heroes, I think it's important to acknowledge that not everyone has had an equal opportunity to participate in the world of innovation.
Right.
You know, we've talked about some amazing inventors, but it's important to remember that for much of history, women and people of color face significant barriers to entry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Thank
Those systemic biases and discrimination,
Yeah.
they've prevented countless talented individuals from having their contributions recognized and celebrated.
Yeah, and one such inventor is Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner. She was an African American woman who received 5 patents for her creations.
5 patents. That's impressive.
I know, and one of her most notable inventions was an adjustable sanitary belt.
Okay.
You know, which addressed a very real need for women. However, she faced significant challenges getting her inventions recognized and marketed due to racial prejudice.
It's both inspiring and heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Her story, I mean, it's a testament to her resilience and ingenuity, but it also, highlights those injustices that have kept so many talented individuals from achieving their full potential.
Yeah, and it's really a call for greater, inclusivity and equity in the world of innovation.
For sure.
Ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to contribute their talents and ideas, regardless of their background or identity.
We need to make sure that those stories are told.
Absolutely.
That those voices are heard.
And celebrating the diversity of innovators throughout history, it not only honors their contributions, but also inspires future generations to follow in their footsteps.
I completely agree.
And I think that's a great segue to the next part of our conversation, where we'll reflect on some of the key takeaways from our deep dive into forgotten inventions, and consider what lessons we can learn from these unsung heroes of innovation.
Yeah, I'm excited to delve deeper into those themes and to hear your thoughts on what these forgotten inventions have taught you.
Me too. We've covered so much ground already, and I can't wait to see what insights we uncover as we continue our exploration. So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll wrap up our journey and leave you with some thought-provoking questions to ponder. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into forgotten inventions. We've been on quite a journey, haven't we? Exploring all these fascinating creations that, maybe haven't always gotten the recognition they deserve.
It's amazing how much we often overlook.
Yeah.
These inventions that have been overshadowed by the big names, but it still plays such a crucial role in shaping the world.
Totally. And what's really struck me, it's not always about like those big flashy breakthroughs,
Yeah.
or like the cutting edge technology. Sometimes it's those incremental changes, those clever solutions to like everyday problems that have the most lasting impact.
It's so true. Sometimes the simplest things can be the most revolutionary in the long run.
Exactly. And it seems like those inventions, that they often come about from a mix of necessity, like you said, curiosity and a willingness to just try things out, to experiment.
Absolutely. That spirit of like tinkering and problem solving, it's a common thread through so many of these inventions.
It is. Like, think about the water wheel, harnessing the power of nature. Like, who thought of that? And it ended up revolutionizing agriculture and industry. And then there's the lodestone compass.
Oh yeah, the compass.
Which basically opened up the entire world for exploration and trade, right? Because now sailors could navigate with so much more accuracy. I mean, those inventions, they came about because people needed to solve like these practical challenges in their lives, but they also show that that human desire to kind of push the limits, to see what's possible.
Yeah, there's that drive to explore, to reach beyond what we know and see what we can discover.
Yeah. And that spirit of exploration and experimentation, it's still just as important today, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's what keeps us moving forward. It keeps us innovating and discovering new possibilities.
So as we kind of like wrap up our deep dive here, I'm really curious to hear like your thoughts. Of all the inventions we've talked about, which one stands out to you as having like the most lasting impact? I know it's a tough question.
It is. It's like choosing a favorite, a favorite star in the sky. They all contribute to the beauty of the night.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I think I would have to go with the printing press.
The printing press.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It revolutionized the way information spreads, the way knowledge is shared. It made it possible to share ideas on a scale that people couldn't have even imagined before.
That's a great point. And it democratized access to knowledge. It fueled the Renaissance, and it really paved the way for modern mass media like we know it today.
Exactly. I mean, it transformed how we communicate, how we learn, how we share stories, and that impact is still felt today. So yeah, the printing press, it's got to be up there for me. What about you? What invention really captured your imagination?
Well, there are so many fascinating inventions to choose from, but I think for me, It would have to be the anti-Keither mechanism.
Oh, the anti-Theor mechanism.
Yeah.
What is it about that one that really speaks to you?
I don't know. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me that a civilization over 2,000 years ago had the knowledge and the skill to create something that complex and intricate.
I know, right?
It makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about ancient cultures.
Yeah.
And who knows what else is out there, just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. I mean, who knows what other secrets of the past are still buried, waiting for us to unearth them.
Right. And now I want to turn the question to our listeners.
Yeah.
Out of all these forgotten inventions that we've talked about, which one really resonated with you?
Yeah. Which one sparked your curiosity?
What challenged your assumptions about the history of innovation? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So share your reflections on social media with your friends and family. But while you're thinking about that, here's another question to consider. What seemingly simple invention today might have a similar profound impact on the future?
I love that question. It really gets you thinking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What are we using every day without a second thought that future historians will be looking back on going, wow, that changed everything?
It's true. Could be something as as simple as the zipper.
The zipper, yeah.
Or the barcode.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's maybe it's something more cutting edge like CRISPR gene editing.
Ooh, CRISPR, yeah.
Or 3D printing. Who knows? Maybe those are the things that will revolutionize healthcare, manufacturing, even space exploration. I mean, it's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is. It really is.
And it's a good reminder that innovation is this ongoing process, this continuous thread that connects us to the past, the present, and the future.
So beautifully put.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into forgotten inventions.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been, and it's been an incredible journey through the history of human ingenuity, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Filled with surprising discoveries,
Absolutely.
inspiring stories.
So many inspiring stories.
And thought-provoking insights too.
I hope it's left you with a renewed appreciation for the power of ideas.
Yeah.
And that remarkable ability that humans have to solve problems, to push those boundaries and to create a better world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And as always, if this deep dive has sparked your own curiosity, we encourage you to keep exploring. There's a whole world of forgotten inventions out there just waiting to be rediscovered.
So keep asking those questions, keep digging deeper, and keep marveling at that incredible legacy of human ingenuity that surrounds us every single day.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.